One of the dishes that I always look forward to when I go to Mexico City is called Fideos secos, dry Fideos, dried angel hair pasta. It's toasted and then simmered in a sauce that's basically made from tomatoes, chipotle chilies, and chorizo. There's always a creamy element in it too. And I thought, why not make it with spaghetti squash instead of the angel hair pasta? And so it's a perfect farmer's market Mexican dish. I'm starting here by cooking this chorizo sausage, which has filled the kitchen with its glorious aroma. And I'm going to take it out and I'm going to use the oil that has cooked out of it, the rendered fat there, to do the next round of cooking here. I'm going to make the tomato sauce out of canned fire roasted tomatoes, so those will go into the blender. That chipotle that is used for this is typically the canned chipotle. So one of those guys is going to go in here, but also because I want more of that smoky flavor, I'm going to add some of the canning juice to it as well. That smells really good too. Blend that until it is completely smooth. Which just takes a couple of seconds, and add some chopped garlic to my skillet, to the rendered fat in the skillet here. I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit here. And once that garlic has released its garlicky aroma into the kitchen, we know that it's basically cooked. It was fairly finely diced. Then I'm going to add this tomato chipotle mixture. I'm going to let that start cooking down. I'm going to take that kind of raw taste of the tomato out of it. While that's cooking, I'm going to add about a cupful of chicken broth to it. And that will be our sauce for our special kind of fideos. Our fideos that is not made with a wheat pasta, but with spaghetti squash. Now I'm going to turn up the temperature even higher so I can get that back to a simmer. Let that cook for just a little bit while I'm preparing the spaghetti squash. So there's lots of different ways that you can prepare spaghetti squash, but most of the time I want to spend as little time on it as possible. So I use the microwaving method. Cut your spaghetti squash in half, wrap it in plastic wrap, put it in the microwave, and let it go at full power for 10 minutes, wrapped in the plastic wrap. And it'll steam in there. You'll notice that plastic wrap will expand a little bit, but you want that because you want to cook it quickly with the steaming method here. Let it set for 10 minutes to cool down and finish the cooking outside the microwave, and then you start to clean it. It's very simple at that point. So I'll cut open the little packet that I have here. And I have the seed pod in the middle that I want to get rid of after I've gotten the plastic off of there. So the seeds will come out pretty easy. This is very much like cleaning any kind of squash, any jack-o'-lantern pumpkin that you've worked with before. So scoop that out. That's our part to throw away. Or you could toast the seeds if you want to after you clean them up and have a little snack. Okay, so that's clean. Now the next step here is to free the strings, basically, because this is a kind of stringy squash. So you go with your fork in the direction of the strings. So you can see how they're kind of coming away from the skin really beautifully. And that's really all there is to it. Makes spaghetti squash super easy to work with. Now I haven't seasoned my sauce yet with salt, so I'll need to do that. give that a little stir. And then I'm going to taste it just to make sure that I'm where I need to be flavor-wise. This should have a little hint of that chorizo since we cooked it in the chorizo fat. Smoky, beautiful, delicious stuff that it is. Now in goes the spaghetti squash. See, it looks just pretty much just like spaghetti. Second half. And then we'll mix it all together. I've got some crema and some Mexican aged cheese, what's called queso añejo. A lot of people know it as a cotija style cheese. You could use Parmesan for this. We'll add about half of what I have. The rest will go as a garnish to the top. Mix all of that together. Smelling really good here. Look at that. Last little bit of it there. And a sprinkling of this beautiful chorizo sausage over the top of it. I have the second half of our añejo cheese to go on. I always love this when it's served with a sprinkling of diced avocado all over the top. And lastly, some cilantro leaves. And there you've got a vegetable version of the famous Mexico City Fideos secos.